Namaste. This is a short yin practice to target your shoulders and your chest area. So generally, the yin practice seems to mostly target the hips and the spine. However, there are a couple of postures that are actually very effective to open the tissues in the chest and to loosen your shoulder joints. For this practice, you may like to have 2 blankets and 2 blocks. If you don't have blocks, you can use the blankets instead, and I'll show you later how to do that. So to start, come lie down on your belly. And you're gonna press yourself up a moment with your left hand and reach your right arm towards the left. Your palm is turned up towards the ceiling. You want to have the arm really at shoulder height, so it goes straight over to the sides. If you're a woman, your arm is above your breasts. Let your forehead rest on the mat. Now, if your forehead doesn't touch the floor, then it's nice to take one of your blankets, fold it as much as needed so you can have your forehead rest on something. And if you can, bring your left arm behind your lower back. Now your left shoulder won't touch the floor, but see if you can relax that shoulder as much as you can, so you're really letting your weight spread from right to left shoulder to get the maximum weight on your right arm and targeting the outer shoulder. And let both hips relax on the mat. Your legs are relaxed. Relax your right arm, your hands. And notice your breath. If it feels way too much to have your left hand behind your lower back, of course, you can just have your hand right there next to your face, or stretch your arm out in front, wherever you prefer. And take 2 more deep breaths here. Take your left hand, place it next to your face, and use your left arm to press into, to carefully extend your right arm out to the side and slide it out on the floor next to you at shoulder height. So if this were my right arm, this is what you're doing with your arm. It's at shoulder height, extend it straight out to the side. Bring your left hand next to you and roll slowly back towards your right shoulder. Maybe you'll stay right here, and this is plenty of stretch for, just going to set the timer, for your right shoulder. If you want to have more stretch, you could lean all the way back, bend your left knee, and place your left foot behind your right knee, and rest here. And if you want even more, you could bring your left arm behind your lower back again. I actually prefer to keep my arm here, just to not overstretch it. You want to be mindful with your shoulders here. Still, shoulders are pretty sensitive and rather an unstable joint, so they're not as robust as your hips are, let's say it that way. And so never overstretch your shoulders, don't push it. Of course, you don't want to push anything in your hips either, but the shoulder can get more easily, more quickly hurt than your hips. See if you can relax your breathing and your head on the floor. If it's not comfortable to have your head on the floor, again, use your blanket. Notice too that perhaps your right hip or your right buttock starts to engage and work. See if you can relax your right leg and your right hip, your right buttock. And take 2 more deep breaths. Carefully bring your left knee forward. If it were bent, extending your leg and roll onto your belly. And extend your arms back behind you or in front, whatever feels comfortable. You could also bend your elbows and have your arms be a little pillow for your head. And take a moment to notice the difference between your right and your left shoulder. And then lift your chest up for a moment. And this time, with your right hand, keep yourself up. With your left arm, slides towards the right. Palm is facing up. So if this were my left arm, again, this is what it would look like, right at the level of your shoulder. So you're resting on the outside of the left shoulder here. Let your forehead be on the mat, or again, use your blanket if you need, if your head doesn't touch the floor. And if you can, bring your right arm behind your lower back. Allow your right shoulder to relax towards the floor, even though it won't touch the floor probably. So you can really keep both sides of your pelvis level on the mat and your legs are relaxed. Notice your breath. Notice any tension anywhere in your body. See if you can soften and let go. And take 2 more breaths here. Then take your right hand, place it next to your face, And use your right arm to press yourself up, extending your left arm to the left now, right at shoulder height. Then use your right arm, press into it, and roll towards your left shoulder. Maybe this is where you'll stay, or you can roll all the way further back, bending your right knee. And resting your right foot on the floor. So again, just notice what feels appropriate for your shoulder. Even though you did one thing on the other side, it may not feel the same on the left shoulder, so don't force it. Notice your breath. Notice if you're tightening up any muscles that really don't need to engage right now. And then slowly roll back onto your belly again, straightening your legs and place your arms wherever is comfortable. And taking a moment to notice now both shoulders. And then slowly come onto your hands and knees. If you have sensitive knees, you may like to place one of your blankets under your knees, because you'll be on your knees for a little bit here. And your other blanket, have it close by. So in this pose, you want to keep your hips straight over your knees as your chest lowers to the floor and your arms reach out in front. If your head is not on the floor, roll your blanket up. Place it under your forehead. Or if your head is on the floor and you would like a little extra support, you could place that thick rolled blanket under your chest. If it feels uncomfortable for your shoulders to have your arms straight out in front of you, you can bend your elbows. You could even bend your elbows and bring your palms behind your head like this. Bringing your arms slightly closer to one another is usually a little easier on the shoulders than if they're wider. And so wherever you are, make sure that your hips stay over your knees so your weight is in your legs, not so much in your shoulders. And imagine that your heart is melting towards the floor. So let go of any engagement in your shoulders, any engagement in your arms. Relax your feet, your breath. Imagine that you could breathe into the space between your shoulder blades, the back of your heart. Notice that perhaps your legs start to engage unconsciously. So see if you can keep your hips, your legs just neutral. 2 more breaths here. And draw your elbows in and slowly let your hips come down towards your heels. Extend your arms behind you this time. Giving your shoulders a moment to release here in the child pose. And slowly roll up. For our last pose, you'll need either your 2 blocks, or if you don't have blocks or don't like the pose with the blocks, the other option is to take one of your blankets, to fold it open, and from the long side, roll it up really tight. So I have this nice long burrito. If that's best for you because you don't have blocks, then your option is to sit in front of the blanket, just with your sacrum. Then roll back so your spine is on the blanket. Your shoulders are hanging on either side of the blanket. Your feet come together and your knees apart. And your feet are at a comfortable distance away from the groin, so not too close, but at a nice, easy distance. So this could be your pose. Or if you have blocks and if this position is working for you, set up your blocks like this, one high and one lengthwise. So you're going to lie on the long side in front of it. Now, very important, the edge of this block right here is going to land right here at the tip of your shoulder blades. So for women, that's pretty much where your bra strap is. For the guys, just feel where the tip of your shoulder blade is, and that's where this edge of the block is going to end. So you may have to move the block a little bit so that it's just in the right spot. So it's under your upper back, your lower back is free, and your head goes on the higher block. Now, if this doesn't feel good, then it probably isn't good. So move the block that's under your upper back just a hair, half a centimeter, quarter inch up or down until you feel a support that doesn't hurt. And if you can't get it right, just use that rolled up blanket. That's also a very nice variation. whichever position you are with the blocks or with the blanket, allow your elbows and your arms to drop into the floor so that your shoulders get a gentle tug to open up, to release the tissues in the chest. Your feet are together, your knees apart, belly soft. Allow your head to drop into the block or the blanket. Notice your breath. And see if you can leave some space between your back teeth so your jaw can release any tension. Your eyes are soft behind your closed eyelids. Notice where your thoughts are right now. A lot of tension in our shoulders often comes from stress caused by incessant thoughts, obsessing about things that we can't fix, that we can't change, things that are maybe going to happen in the future, but maybe not, or things that have happened in the past that we can't do anything about anymore. So we unconsciously wrap our shoulders up towards our ears and create lots of tension there. So the more you become aware of what your thoughts are and the fact that you're thinking, and you can pause that for a moment by simply noticing your breath, is a very effective way to just break that habit of shrugging up your shoulders to creating tightness and tension there. And just that idea that we have to carry the whole world upon our shoulders because we have to fix everything. And see if you can just let go of anything right now. There's nothing you need to do right now. And as you're pausing and resting here, you may notice that your digestive system kicks in again, that it becomes active, that your belly is starting to make some sounds. It's when we move from the fight or flight response to the sympathetic nervous system responsible for the stress in your body. When that turns off and shifts into the parasympathetic nervous system, the rest and digest system, and our body can come back to repair and reset. And digestion starts working again. These sounds in your belly are a good sign. And take 2 more nice deep breaths here. If you're on the blocks, use your arms, press into your elbows to lift yourself up. If you're on the blanket roll, you can carefully roll to one side and move the blanket out of your way. Bring your knees together with the help of your hands. And move the blocks out of your way, move the blanket out of your way, and then lie onto your back, straightening out your legs. And just taking a moment to let that posture settle in. Notice the resonance, that shape draped over the blanket or your blocks. And perhaps you feel a sense of relief and openness in your chest and shoulders. As if a weight is lifted off you. And take a nice breath in. Sigh out. You're welcome to stay here as long as you like. Or bend your knees and roll to your side. Come back up to sit. And close your eyes for a moment. Just to notice the effects of these 3 simple postures that can take so much of the weight off your shoulders. Thank you for practicing with me. Namaste.